Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to another edition of Paul's Cinema Picks of the Week. I'm your host, Paul Westbrook, and right now we're going to be doing sort of a question-answer period. And Linda, our camera person, is going to be asking the questions. I'm going to be answering the questions and see what we can do from there.
Just before cars go by.
Yeah, so without further ado, when you're ready.
First question. What got you into movies?
Well, in 1974, when our grandfather, John Baker, actually sat me on the knee, we were going to watch a classic movie. And at that time, I didn't know what a classic movie was, so they asked me. So grandfather explained to me about Citizen Kane, the Orson Welles production, which is RKO Studios. And Citizen Kane is actually on the AFI's top 100 list of the best movies of all time. And that's what really got me into the movies. Is I was fascinated by the movement of cinema. Cinema is a sort of magic. Then after that, I got into as I got older, I just got an interest in the storytelling and the cinematography, all the stuff that you acquire as you get older. But what really got me into the movies, like I said, was just a fascination of the art, cinema being an art form.
Next question. Since we all know how many movies we've seen how many movies you have, why so many?
Oh, that's due to my passion for cinema. As a collector, we have a mentality of you can never really have enough films. And right now I have like over 20,000 films, yes, that everybody knows about. But the reason I have so many is my dream was to have a library of my own films that I could access at any time if I wanted to watch my favorite movie. And it's an inspiration, and at the same time, it's something that I'm very passionate about, and that's why I also decided to make my house up to look like a movie theater.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, Superman the movie, 1978. Richard Donner production, John Williams doing the musical score, starring Christopher Reeve. To me, that was the absolute best movie that I've ever seen, due to the fact that it was the first blockbuster film that I'd ever seen. And I remember going to that with late family friend Wes Neller, who actually took us to see that as a Christmas present. And when I saw that, I knew that I really wanted to get into the films.
Your favorite actor?
My favorite actor, of course, is Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin, of course, being the great silent star who was in the silent era. And he was a director, music composer. He was a writer. He wrote all the screenplay, and he acted in all the films. I just thought Chaplin was a multifaceted personality and a great character who created the immortal Tramp character, which was probably the most famous screen personality of all time. And I just have loved Chaplin ever since then.
Your favorite actress?
That's hard. That's a really tough question. Who is my favorite actress of all time? Because I've seen so many diverse talents. I'd say Leah Thompson was one of my favorite actresses. Mary Pickford was another favorite actress. She was in the silent era around the time Chaplin was there. And Catherine Mary Stewart. A lot of people know her like through a lot of cult favorite movies like Night of the Comet and Last Starfighter. I actually got to meet Catherine Mary Stewart, by the way, in 1991, I think it was. Elizabeth Shue and Keira Knightley recently. Keira Knightley and Scarlett Johansson. Absolutely love Scarlett Johansson. She's certainly a great screen talent, and her best years are ahead of her yet.
Okay. Give me a moment to take another. How about a favorite movie when you're happy?
Now, my favorite movie when I'm really happy. Well, Star Wars. Star Wars is a good release. If you're really happy, you put on something like Star Wars because it's like the eternal conflict of good versus evil.
And if you're sad, favorite movie then?
Okay, now the movie I would watch when I'm sad, I watched this one movie called Somewhere in Time, and it starred Superman's Christopher Reeve as a regular guy. He was like a playwright named Richard Collier, and he goes back in time, meets a girl, an actress, that he falls madly in love with, and the manager of the actress won't let her be with him no matter what. So they have to overcome all adversity to find love, and then through unforeseen circumstances, which I can't say because I don't really want to give away the film, he loses her in time, and of course it's very sad to watch. But it's a beautiful story, but it's sad to watch at the same time. But yeah, when I'm sad, that's a movie that I would definitely go to.
Movie when really depressed.
Yeah, that's another one that's really hard to say. Movies that you're really depressed.
So you can do this to me if you want.
What would you say?
Mine would be Girl Interrupted.
Girl Interrupted. Yes, that's one of the really good ones. And I don't know, horror? I think I can actually say that horror movies are good because horror movies are depressing. Believe me, there's nothing happy about somebody getting slashed to death in any which way. But yeah, like if I'm really depressed, a horror movie. Why? Not because of the antagonist, not because of the monster or the killing, but because of the atmosphere. You ever notice in a horror movie it's always dark?
Yeah.
It's always dark in a horror movie. That's why I would say horror if I'm really depressed.
Alrighty, that covers up one question I was going to ask. Okay, next set of questions. Genre movie edition. When you're happy, what genre movie would be best to watch?
Family and comedy, because you always get a high from it.
Romantic, love.
Down with Love with Renee Zellweger and Ewan McGregor. And beach party movies, Frankie and Nat. Watch those type of movies. For romantic, if you want weird romance, Howard the Duck. Because you got a duck and you got a girl, so you think of the equation there between those two. And trying to think, Somewhere in Time also was a very romantic film because there was romance there. Even if it was tragic romance, it still starts off happy. But yeah, any romantic film like Notebook, yes. Everybody always goes to the movie The Notebook. They say The Notebook is the greatest romantic film of all time.
Never seen it.
You should definitely see it because it's something that's definitely worth watching.
Okay, so what genre of movies would go with sadness?
Dramas, thrillers, definitely dramas. Definitely like drama, like weepy type movies. Certainly not Devil Wears Prada, that's more of a comedy. I don't know, if you're talking drama, you're talking about Dolores Claiborne, or you're talking about The Night Listener with Robin Williams. He was in that. That's sort of a drama thriller. Dead Man Walking. Green Mile. Green Mile was dramatic, and it was sad. It has all the elements. Forrest Gump. Even though the character came off as a bit comedic at times, well, why? Because he was mentally challenged. There is drama in there too. Movies that sort of mix drama with comedy, like Patch Adams. It has a comedy thing, but there's a reason behind it. Dead Poets Society is another drama thing. it's dramatic, but at the same time it's educational because it enables the film watcher to think.
And you already said for depression, horror flick.
For
For
depression,
for
definitely
genre.
horror films. If you want to be depressed, watch a good horror film. Of course, some people might have a different opinion on that, but my take on it is if you're ever depressed, always put on a horror film.
Okay. If you guys have any questions for Paul, leave them in the comments. I will get them to him, and I'll ask him. Maybe one of these times I'll do a live episode.
Yep.
So,
until then, this is Paul Westbrook, reminding you once again to, as my sister said, leave the questions in and I will answer them probably on air if she asks me. Or, like I said, we'll do a live telecast sometime and you can ask questions and we can go from there. But for now, this is Paul Westbrook, reminding you to keep it real, and I'll be seeing you at the movies.